Hi, I'm Princess Leia from Liechtenstein. Before I continue, please hit like and subscribe. The moment my mom gave birth to me, everyone in the village instantly fell in love with me. I was the world's friendliest baby and loved attention. Then when I was 2 years old, my sister Emily was born, and she was a little different. Every time Emily was around people, she would scream and find somewhere to hide. One day when I was 8 and Emily was 6, Mom and Dad had a royal garden party. I loved talking to all the grown-up guests, but Emily was terrified.
Leah, I don't want to be with all these people. I want to be in my room, but Mom isn't letting me.
Here, you can hide underneath my gown. Then no one will see you and I'll sneak you out. But hiding my sister underneath my dress wasn't the best idea. I ended up tripping over the refreshment table, spilling a chocolate fountain over some lady's dress. Mom and Dad were horrified, and my clumsy accident ended up being all over the news. But my parents didn't blame me for what happened. They were just worried and confused. Why is Emily so anxious and afraid of everyone? Was it something we did? It just doesn't make any sense. Emily's anxiety only got worse over the years. By the time she was 8, she refused to even leave our bedroom. Everyone in the village still adored me, but they were convinced something was seriously wrong with Emily. I hear she just stares out her window all day. It's a shame she's not more like her sister Leia. Worst of all, Emily wanted me to stay with her in our room all the time. I couldn't even go downstairs for dinner without Emily crying.
Please don't leave me. I'm so lonely, and you're the only person that I actually like.
It was so hard saying no to her. My parents tried enrolling her in therapy, but nothing seemed to work. And as time passed, I got tired of being cooped up in her room and wanted to go and have a life. One night when I was 16, I took a walk around the castle to get some fresh air. Then suddenly, I looked up and almost had a heart attack. There was a guy trying to climb onto the roof. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Climbing onto the roof? What does it look like? Excuse me, but this happens to be the King and Queen's castle? You better climb down before I tell my parents about this. The guy jumped down from the roof, landing inches away from me. There, I came down. You're welcome. With that, he just walked off, and I felt my blood boil. I just knew he'd been trying to cause trouble. The next day I came down for breakfast, and I was shocked to see my parents with the guy who climbed the roof. Oh, darling, you're awake. I'd like you to meet Nico. He's the Duke's son and a lovely young man. But I saw him climbing onto the roof of the castle last night. He's dangerous. He was up to no good. No. Nico just likes lying on our roof to watch the stars at night. What? My parents were crazy. What king and queen would let some weirdo climb their castle walls at night and believe such a stupid lie? Fine, be naive and let this intruder do his thing. But when he puts all our lives in danger, don't come crying to me. I was gonna sneak up on Nico and see what he was up to. I would have one of our guards bring me up to the roof with a harness and a rope. But that night, as I rose up to the castle roof, I saw Nico sitting with tears in his eyes. He didn't even look surprised to see me. Nico, are you okay? I came to check on you, but I figured you'd check on me sooner or later, and I haven't been okay for years. What do you mean? I'm not really the Duke's son. I'm adopted. When I was 10 years old, my parents left me, and they never came back. Wow, I didn't know that. My parents were friends with your parents, so they'd take me up here a lot when I was young. My mom and I used to sit here together and watch the stars. Once, she told me if I ever got lost to come up to this spot, and she'd know where to find me. I know she'll never come here, but hanging out at this spot makes me feel closer to her. Your dad's a saint. He was the one who convinced the Duke to adopt me. I just wish I didn't miss my parents so much. I was too stunned to speak. I had totally misjudged him. We ended up talking for hours, and before I knew it, the sun had come up. I should go, but this was really fun. Maybe we can do this again tomorrow night? I'd like that. You're a good listener, Leah. Then one day, something crazy happened. I was having lunch at school when suddenly a few girls came up to me with smirks on their faces. According to one of your maids, your weirdo sister threw a chair at a new maid of yours this morning? We didn't know she was that crazy. Oh, God, I wanted to disappear. They should just lock her up forever. You shouldn't have said that. I yanked the girl's hair hard and she started to scream. Just then, someone pushed the girl backwards and I saw it was Nico. You forgot you're speaking to our future queen, girls. Come on, Leah, let's go for a walk. Nico led me away from the girls, and that's when I asked him how he was in my school. I've been homeschooled my whole life, but my dad decided it was time I start studying with other royals. I was really happy Nico had transferred, but his words made me think of Emily. She had never been able to go to a normal school. All of a sudden, I had tears in my eyes, and I told Nico everything about Emily, how she never came out of her room, how my parents were ashamed of her, and how I always needed to stay with her. What if the girls are right? What if Emily really is crazy and she starts losing her mind? I don't know, but you shouldn't have to sacrifice your life for her. Emily probably just needs someone outside her family to feel safe with. If you want, I'll come over and talk to her. I hugged Nico and immediately agreed. That night, I brought him into our bedroom and Emily started having a panic attack. Hey, it's okay. Nico's a friend. Then suddenly, Emily stood up to really get a look at Nico. And seconds later, she was swooning.
I never knew Leah had such handsome friends. You know I'm a princess too, right?
Emily started flirting with Nico like crazy. But as the night went on, Nico got her to start opening up about her issues. I get what you're going through. Sometimes I get so depressed, I don't even want to leave my bed. But sometimes being alone makes it worse. How about I introduce you to some of my friends from school? We can start slow. To my shock, Emily agreed. Nico and I started out by taking her for walks in the park, and once in a while introducing her to people. I was so grateful for Nico, and as time passed, we grew really close, and I secretly started having feelings for him. Then one night, the three of us were walking along the pier, when suddenly Nico tripped and fell sideways into the lake, hitting his head on a rock. Then he started sinking into the water. I jumped into the lake to get him. When I managed to pull him out, he was unconscious. Luckily, I knew CPR, and within an hour, he started to wake up. He was saved. The next day, I went to visit Nico at his house to see how he was. When I got there, he was lying on the couch and he looked super out of it. Hey, how are you feeling? I just remember that I hit a rock and almost drowned, and that someone special saved my life. You have no idea how much it means to me, Leah. I haven't felt this loved in years. My heart soared. I was just about to lean in and kiss him when Emily came over and Nico took her hand. Emily told me she dove into the water to get me and then did CPR. She's an absolute angel. To my horror, Nico pulled Emily close and kissed her. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I yanked Emily's arm and pulled her into the other room. How could you take credit for saving Nico's life? He's been my best friend for the past year, and you know what? I'm in love with him.
Leah, I've been miserable my whole life. I don't know if any guy will want to be with me ever, considering all the issues I have. This could be my once-in-a-lifetime chance at happiness. But I guess that doesn't matter. So go tell Nico the truth and be the village hero. I'll just lock myself away in this bedroom forever.
Emily stormed off into the bathroom and slammed the door. I couldn't think straight. I ran out of Nico's palace to clear my head. I wanted to tell Nico the truth so badly, but what if Emily was right? What if this was her one chance at a normal life? In the end, I decided to let Emily take the credit. It probably wouldn't be a big deal. She'd get to be the village hero for once. Plus, it wasn't like she and Nico were gonna get married overnight. I had time to think things over. Except Emily's fame lasted for more than a week. Worst of all, she and Nico were getting close. The two of them even went out together. He comforted her every time she had a panic attack and congratulated her every time she left the castle. God, was he her boyfriend or her babysitter? Then one night, my parents invited Nico over for dinner, and Dad made an announcement that sent me over the edge. After much thought and discussion, we would like for Nico to be our new king. We love him like our own son, and we can't think of who'd be a better husband for our daughter. My jaw dropped. I was gonna be with Nico after all? Everything was gonna work out? But Emily was fuming. You're just gonna take Nico away from me? Like that? You mean I'm gonna marry Leah? Actually, you're going to marry Emily, and she's going to be the queen instead of Leah. You two make such a beautiful couple, and it was truly a miracle that Emily was able to save your life, even with all her challenges, and that's remarkable. I felt like I'd been punched in the face.
That's insane! I'm the eldest daughter. I've been preparing to be queen my whole life. And you know what? I'm the one who saved Nico. I should have never let Emily lie and take the credit for it. And I'm not letting her take my crown or marry Nico either. Before anyone could react, I fled from the table and into my bedroom. Then suddenly, I felt someone standing over me, and it was Emily, with fire in her eyes. Why would you rat me out like that? You can still have any guy you want, as long as it's not Nico. I've loved Nico for over a year. Emily, I've sacrificed everything for you. I spent days on end locked in this room so you wouldn't feel scared and alone. Is this the thanks I get? So, you're saying I owe you in some way? I never asked you to sacrifice yourself for me. You could have left me for a few hours if it was too much. It's not my fault you don't know how to set boundaries. Sorry, but I'm only responsible for my own happiness. That was it. Without thinking, I slapped Emily across the face hard. Emily turned around and was about to push me, but instead, she tripped and fell backwards, tumbling down the stairs. Everyone called for help and an ambulance came. What had I done? I went with everyone to the hospital, but I wasn't able to see Emily yet. I felt sick to my stomach. Suddenly, I felt someone's hand on my shoulder. It was Nico.
Hey, Emily's gonna be okay. She'll be in a cast for a few weeks, but don't worry.
I think there's something seriously wrong with me. How could I hurt my sister like that?
Maybe because you were fed up with letting her take what's yours? The servants overheard your conversation with Emily, that it was you who saved me and how you let her take the credit.
I was totally silent. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but Nico had a point.
Also, I need to confess something. I'm in love with you too. I've been in love with you for ages. I thought I loved Emily because she saved my life, but we don't have that connection that you and I have. I want to be with you, Leah, not your sister.
Suddenly, Nico leaned in to kiss me. Oh God, I wanted to kiss him so bad, but what about Emily? I couldn't do this to her. I ran away from Nico at that second. I had to talk to Emily. I went out to bring her flowers and then apologized for everything. Actually, I'm the one who owes you an apology. I went way too far by stealing both Nico and your crown from you. I know Nico doesn't see me like that. It's okay, Emily. It's in the past now. Everything is gonna be all right. I'm so glad you're okay. Honestly, me too. I hugged my sister tight. Today, I'm married to Nico as the Queen of Liechtenstein. And Emily is married too, with 3 kids.